What's up, people of YouTube? This is Twirler here, bringing you guys another video to my channel, and today I'm bringing you guys an overpowered class setup video, if you will. Basically, it's just a class setup, but I fine-tuned some things and just interchanged some perks and some attachments just to try and get the best possible results that I can to get an absolutely incredible class. And this is a class I have for you, but before I dive into too much of what is on this class, I'd like to ask you guys to go ahead and hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel just to get notified whenever I upload, because my videos do not always go to sub boxes, just like pretty much any YouTuber. And if you guys enjoy my content, it'll make it easier for you guys to get to my content as fast as possible, or just so you don't really forget that it's there in general. So on this class setup here, we have the HVK-30 with an elo sight, quick draw, grip, and rapid fire. Now for perk 1, we have 6th Sense, fast hands for perk 2 with scavenger, and then obviously we have the multiple attachments for your wild cards and the perk 2 extra perk wild card. I can't remember what they are right off the top of my head, but those are what we're going to be using in this next video that I'm going to be showing you guys here, basically of me using the class. This is a really, really effective gun. I'll describe a little bit more about how you should use it in the actual gameplay itself. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, now getting into the gameplay, I just kind of want to explain why I chose the perks that I chose and why I chose the attachments that I chose, because I know that a lot of people probably don't feel like rapid fire is a very good attachment. I've watched some YouTube videos about people saying that the rapid fire attachment just isn't really that necessary, and I can agree in a lot of situations. But overall, if you have good accuracy, which means you can control the recoil, or as long as you put foregrip on, you can control the recoil, I think that adding rapid fire is actually a really good idea. It makes the gun at least feel a lot better, in my opinion, for most guns, with the exception of like the Vesper and maybe a couple others. It just overall makes the gun more not necessarily do more damage, but it's shooting faster, which means you're putting more bullets down range in a short period of time, and it's just better overall for racking up kills. Now with my playstyle, I do like to get a lot of kills. That's pretty much what I go into games to do. I'm not much of an objective player, and you're going to see that in this gameplay. This is Uplink, and it's quite an interesting game. I won't spoil anything for you guys. I'll let you watch it out all the way to the end, and you'll see in full exactly what I mean by interesting, to say the least. So the gun that I chose is the HVK-30, and the reason why I chose this weapon is because when Black Ops 3 first came out, this is a year and a half after, when Black Ops 3 first came out, this was my gun of choice. This was the gun that I wanted to run with every class. This is what I wanted to use all the time, every time I played Black Ops 3, and this was the first gun that I got gold. And looking back on Black Ops 3 and how good of a game it was, it felt so nice to play this game, and I just wanted to feel that again, which is why I chose the HVK-30. And I don't feel like there's a lot of YouTubers really covering Black Ops 3 as much anymore, but for some reason with this Into the Void Camo, which I did actually get, as you can see in the gameplay, and these new DLC weapons and Zombie Chronicles and everything happening over the past 3 weeks or so, I feel like Black Ops 3 has really been just kind of brought back from the dead in a sense, and I just kind of wanted to bring some of that to my channel because I just enjoy this game so much. I don't want to just leave it at where it was at 6 months ago when it was really hard for me to get views on anything, and I just want to have fun with this game and bring it to you guys, and that's why I chose this gun. And I hope you guys, you know, want to know a class with this, because most of the classes out there right now are focusing on the DLC weapons or some of the guns that were already used a lot, where as the HVK-30, I feel like wasn't one of those weapons. I don't think people really looked at it and went, that's the gun I want to use. That's the gun I'm going to go into these games and just completely destroy with. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the perks that I chose. So I know that 6th Sense has kind of got a negative look on it. A lot of people think that it's like a cheesy perk and it's not something that you should really use. And I agree to a sense. Like, I get that it is cheese, but like it just helps so much with me. I have 2 different play styles when it comes to selecting what perks I'm going to use with the perk 1 slot, and it's usually either 6th Sense or Ghost, and both of them can be looked down upon. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I am a slayer. I like to get kills. That's what I go into games to do, and both of those perks help a lot when I am having those equipped on my classes. So after I choose my perk 1, obviously I move on to my next perks. Perk 2 is kind of like, these are like perks that I put with every class almost regardless. Scavenger and Fast Hands. So Fast Hands is kind of a crutch perk. Everybody really uses it. It just kind of makes the most sense. to get your gun up as fast as possible. And also Scavenger, if you are liking to go on those long streaks and kill as many people as possible, it's kind of necessary because you're going to need the ammunition to rack up the kills, and that's pretty much the most important part is ammunition, because if you don't have that, then you can't do much. And nobody likes to pick up a crap gun off the ground and try and do what they can with it, because it's not useful. So a little bit here, I'd like to talk about my selection when it comes to my specialist and what I chose to use with my specialist. And really, with this class, I don't think it really matters, aside from the fact that you should probably choose something that gets you as close to the enemies as possible, or at least in like a medium distance, because I know I'm using an assault rifle, but with this assault rifle, long range isn't really the like the best place to try and pick up kills with this gun. It bounces a little bit. You could, tease the trigger and it'll probably get you some pretty good kills at a distance. I think you kind of see that a little bit in this video. I know it is Nuketown, but I would suggest keeping to medium to close distance with this gun. And my specialist choice really has nothing to do with the quality of the weapon or how good the gun is going to do in engagements. But I feel like using Psychosis really helped me get close to some of the enemies in situations where otherwise I probably wouldn't have won a gunfight because it would have seen me coming from a long distance. And the same thing could go with like active camo or, just choosing anything that would help you win gunfights, like kinetic armor. That'd be another good one. I don't think that if you just want to get gun kills, I think that it's best to go with an ability. But if you're just trying to get kills in general, which typically I would use like the flamethrower, then you can go for something like that. So I'd like to acknowledge that in this gameplay at this point, we are down 6 points. It is 0-6, and things are going to be getting a little bit heated here coming up. And the game started off where we didn't have a lot of teammates. The teams weren't really that balanced, and so the game changes drastically here for not necessarily, or definitely the better, but you're just going to have to kind of watch and see how it goes. Definitely better on my end, but I didn't really help the team out besides just kills in general, which, like I said in the beginning of this video, this class is very, very good for that. So I'm going to let this gameplay run in the background, and I'm going to talk about a couple other things that I would like to discuss with my channel, this series that I plan on doing, and where I got it from. So first of all, I'm completely aware of the fact that this idea is not original. Like, people do this all the time. People make class setup videos, they make overpowered class setup videos, but I felt like I could take my perspective on how I play the game, take my classes, because sometimes I have some different things in there that really work for me, and give it to you guys. Now, I know I'm not a tips and tricks channel, but I felt like this was a good way to have gameplay for something in the background and talk to you guys about the game and my class, and then maybe you guys could give me some recommendations on what you would like to see in future videos from this series. So this isn't going to be like a set in stone thing that I'm going to do every single week. I'll just kind of do it as I feel like doing it, and I think that initially I'm going to do a lot of Black Ops 3 guns, but I can do some Infinite Warfare guns and maybe even some Modern Warfare Remastered weapons. It'd be a little bit harder in that game because you basically have to use the same perks and you only have so many attachments that you can really use, but I can try and make it work. If you guys really want to see that, just go ahead and comment down below. Now, with this not being the most original concept ever, I just felt like maybe you guys would enjoy seeing this because a lot of people are making Black Ops 3 videos on guns like this, like I said earlier in the video. So for those of you who are still on Black Ops 3 and just don't care about IW, or you don't care about MWR, or maybe you just don't have it, I want to kind of provide that content for you guys in order to find the best class setup videos that you can, because a lot of these guns have been patched and changed, and a lot of YouTubers have just kind of dropped this game, aside from maybe just like background video, and that's about it. So that's pretty much all I really have to say. And with that being said, as you can see, I'm starting to rack up my streaks, and I'm on a pretty big streak right here. I ran out of ammunition, and I was kind of worried at this point. I was like, I don't know where to place this. I don't want to kill myself, but I want to pick up some kills, and I was trying to find a way that I can get around people to pick up somebody's gun or get scavenger or something. And as you can see, I kind of failed right there. I put myself in a bad spot. I shouldn't have ran into the spawn. For those of you who are wondering where I went wrong, that was exactly what I did. Now, the last thing that I really want to talk about with this class is what this class is for, because I am not the type of player that usually goes out there and picks up You know, a Wraith isn't hard, Rolling Thunder isn't too hard, but like Wraps, this isn't something that I do consistently. I can do it if I put my mind to it or if I really want to, but it's not something that I consistently do when I play. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that for those of you who don't necessarily see yourselves being that good, this class would definitely work for people who are average or even below average, because it's just about positioning. It's about being in the right spot and making sure you can outgun your enemies. If you can maintain a decent accuracy and put yourself in positions where the enemies are going to lose gunfights, like head glitches and having the first shots, and if you have a scuff, that's a huge help. Being able to jump shot or even drop shot if you can't do that. Those are all really big parts, and that'll go into any class setup, honestly. But obviously the gun is going to have a huge role in how close you need to be, how many shots you're going to have to take, how accurate you're going to have to be, all of those things, how you're going to have to play, whether it's rushing or really slow. And honestly, with this gun, I feel like it's kind of a combination of taking it super slow and then, you know, maybe pushing really hard. So take it slow until you can, you know, get your surroundings and know where you're at and understand that there's no need for you to really rush out there. And then once you have an open spot, like enemies are dead and they're spawning back in their spawn, then you can push forward and try and gain more map control. And like I said before, this is also something that you kind of use with every class setup, but for this one specifically, it just works really well, because you can't do something like that with a sniper rifle, really. SMGs is practically almost completely rushing, because if you're on a head glitch with an SMG and you're medium to long distance, you're going to get picked off by sniper rifles, LMGs, assault rifles. And so I feel like this gun is really a hybrid weapon, and it's really good to use if you want to be an aggressive player, but you don't want to be too aggressive, if that makes sense. Because if you're too aggressive, it can lead to just dying constantly, and that's not what you want. You just want to be aware of your surroundings, use your head glitches, and that's how you're going to pick up the win, and that's how you're going to get all those kills. Anyways, guys, that's all I really have for you in this video. I had like 60 kills or 61 kills and 15 deaths or something like that, and the game like completely turned, and we ended up winning, and I don't understand how it happened. It definitely was not because of me. Typically, I'd be playing TDM or sometimes free-for-all or kill confirmed, but definitely not because of me. Props to my teammates, but I did give them the support of the streaks and stuff like that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Twitter and Facebook links will be down in the description as always, and deuces.